Mostly Movies Short Subjects, where we mostly talk about movies in a short video. I'm here today to discuss Marvel's The Thunderbolts, Marvel Studios' The Thunderbolts. I'm on break at work, so I don't have much time, but it's a perfect time for a short subject. I only have a couple of minutes. I'm going to get right down to it. I did not care for this film. I know that it has a huge Rotten Tomato score and a very nice audience score, too. But I think that has more to do with the times are changing and people are happier with less. They also didn't grow up with enough good movies. So if you think about it, the generation that's like teenagers and writing reviews on Rotten Tomatoes and things like that are people that were in high school when the whole Marvel revolution started. So the expectations aren't that high. They're happier with less. And that's the reason why there's been such a strong reaction from fans. I thought that the film, now the Thunderbolts comic, I wasn't an expert on it, but I will say this: the Thunderbolts comic book was fun, and it was light. It was a heavy subject matter because they were villains trying to do the right thing and turn good. But this film has no fun. There's no passion. There's no joy. And the thing that's lacking in most movies today: no heart, no sincerity. And that's the problem. And the movie is not funny. I used to joke that the Marvel movies had this Bob Hope humor, but now we've gotten to the late 70s, early 80s Bob Hope specials humor. The jokes fall flat. Nothing in the movie is that funny. David Harbour has a few cool moments. The funniest moment in the movie is the post-credits, one of the post-credit scenes involving him, which is actually really funny. I wish the rest of the movie was that fun, and it wasn't. It was dark, grim, depressing, all this stuff about trauma and pain and all these things. And then at the end, the villain doesn't really mean it, and he's really a victim too. And the people that die don't really die. There's no stakes. It's just sort of like just really, really lame and boring and depressing and dark and weird. And there's one scene where they're going through all different rooms of trauma, like take us to the worst room. And at that point, I turned to my wife. I said, I think the worst trauma room is this theater watching this movie. So that's a big horns down for the Thunderbolts. I didn't care for it. I'm sorry that, to rain on your parade, because I'm really rooting for Marvel to come back. And it's not going to be like, that one great movie in a while, like Deadpool and Wolverine, which was great, or Spider-Man No Way Home. What they need is to not exactly hit those heights, but they need a certain consistency. And they don't have that. And to me, the Thunderbolts feels like, I didn't see the Captain America movie because didn't hear anything good about it. But I'll say this: even if they could just get this movie to be like to be like somewhat good, it feels like a streaming show. And there's good stuff in this movie. Like Julia Louis-Dreyfus is great in the film. Florence Pugh or Poe, I'm not sure how to say it. She's fantastic. They're the two best parts of the movie. The rest of the movie is flat. But they're amazing in it. And I'll say that I'd rather watch a movie just with the two of them than anybody else in this movie. And again, I didn't like the bad Captain America guy, Kurt Russell's kid. It just seemed very boring to me. Very TV, very pedestrian. And they're all supposed to lead up to this great Avengers Doomsday. And the problem is, the lead up to Avengers was really strong. People don't realize that. You had Iron Man. The Incredible Hulk is a little clunky, and Captain America worked out when you see it in the context of the other movies. As its own movie, it was okay. And even Thor was okay. But I'm thinking to myself, man, Avengers is going to have to do some heavy lifting, and it did. Don't get me wrong. The first Avengers movie was great. But the problem is, all these movies that are leading to this Avengers Doomsday, none of them are that interesting. And I don't think they really have it. I don't think they really have it in them to be like the Marvel of old, even with the Russo brothers. So I'm very sorry to say, on a more positive note, I did finally catch up with Andor, which for a while I was calling Blandor because it's a little slow moving. And I'll say this, the first season is actually good. It is a pretty good show. It's not one I would rush out and watch again. It's not as action-packed as The Mandalorian. It's very, very British, which is a good thing and can be a little tricky too, because you got to also worry about they go at a different pace, and we Americans want more action usually. But I started the second season last night. I've watched the first episode, which I really, really enjoyed. And I think that they've found a good beat between the character development and action. So I've got to run, and hopefully I'll be back soon with reviews for Superman and a couple of other summer movies. Signing off.